You poured thousands of hours and hundreds of thousands of dollars into a degree to set you apart, but technology is changing the job landscape for virtually everyone. I'm Tom Sosnoff. I've lived through shifts like this before. I use them to build 4 separate 9 and 10-digit exits. Here's what everyone is missing. Simultaneous to all the uncertainty and all the fears about AI are some of the biggest opportunities we've seen in decades. So in this video, I will walk you through 10 practices that will help anyone from a recent college grad to a C-suite professional come out ahead of the changes to come. Number 1, own your situation. Don't expect or wait for anyone to come to your rescue. The real world can be incredibly brutal and challenging until you figure things out. What's most important is that you recognize upfront that you are responsible for you. The quicker that this realization hits home, the more energy and drive you will have. It's okay to stumble a bit on the path to figuring things out. Everyone is on their own for the first time. You need to suffer a little before you can sing the blues. Everyone has failures. Just remember, success is a byproduct of learning how to grow and learning how to grow through failures. Number 2, be open to adjacent verticals and opportunities. Nobody knows exactly what you are going to do or what you are going to become when you're in your early 20s. The perfect role or industry may have never been on your radar before. Everyone needs to be open to learning new things and trying new things. Always say yes, no matter what. In fact, I was a political science major in college. I never took a business or finance class. I got an interview on Wall Street. They offered me a job, and I've been in this world for 45 years now. That's all I really know. In fact, I was born and raised in New York, went to college in New York, got a job on Wall Street, and met a few people, and 6 months later, I was packing up my car and moving to Chicago. I mean, that's about as crazy a shift and about as adjacent a move as you can have. But you know what? I had no idea what I was doing then, and it worked out pretty good. So it's always good to be open to adjacent verticals and adjacent opportunities. Number 3, don't be seduced by more money. The amount of money you make right out of college should absolutely not be the determining factor in a job selection. The opportunity with the most upside, learning, practical experience, and the size of the company, those are all really important. I would choose a small, flat startup with a more integrated role and some equity 100 out of 100 times. In fact, just to be fair here, that's the same advice that I've given to my kids who both started their professional careers with a small startup. Number 4, prioritize networking. Start early and recognize the importance of meeting people and being in person as much as possible. The network you build is not a safety net. Rather, it's your own professional ecosystem that will help you grow. It's your pathway to opportunity and future relationships. I could easily argue that building a network of friends and professional contacts is the single most important post-grad task you'll take on. For me personally, the network that I've built over many decades has led to every business opportunity, every investment opportunity we've eventually been able to monetize. Number 5, practice articulating your pitch. Do you know how many crazy smart people can't describe what their strengths are? It's mind-blowing that some people think an interviewer or a resume is going to tell a better story than they can. Your pitch defines you. It's not even about elegance or delivery. It's about believability of your messaging. You don't need the gift of gab, but you do need to be able to meet people who want to bet on you. I've interviewed a lot of people in my career. You would be shocked by how many people are unable to talk about themselves and articulate their skill sets. It's so important. I can't stress that point enough. Number 6, baby steps, or crawl before you can walk. Every employer loves a let me prove it to you candidate. We also love people who are willing to do the dirty work, take the unglamorous roles, and maybe even work for less just to prove their value. The world doesn't hand you the keys to the C-suite just because you have an impressive degree from an impressive school. The real business world is much more challenging and much crueler than you even think. Taking it slowly early on will lead to an acceleration through experience. I can't tell you how many times we have had wonderful candidates who tried to get from point A to point B too quickly, and they didn't make it. And yet we've had candidates that we weren't really sure that were going to make it, but they took their time and they turned out to be exceptional. And they went to places I never thought they would get to. Number 7, be flexible. Remember, there's nothing you can't do. There's a real value to working. Many times, we learn about new opportunities from the things we experience in the workforce. The key is always to keep active. You haven't earned the right to be picky. So as an employer, I love young candidates who say, give me anything, or sure, I can do that. Nobody likes rigid. We love candidates who default to yes. I can promise you, as somebody who has hired, literally thousands of people over the last 40 some odd years, the people who say yes to everything are the ones who not only go up the ladder, not only acquire the wealth, but they're also the happiest because they just take on every task. They learn so much. Number 8, be smart, but be likable. At a certain level, everyone is smart, but not everyone is likable. It is difficult for potential candidates to exhibit how smart they are in a short interview. On the other hand, it is easy to show genuine kindness and likability. I will not hire someone who I don't believe will be liked by others at the firm or others on the team. A lot of people hire candidates just based on everything that's quantifiable. That, for example, the school you went to, the last job you had, the last salary you made, things like that. How you answer certain questions about certain really tough questions that are like test questions. I factor in all that stuff, of course, but I also factor in likability. If you want to build a culture where there's very little turnover, if you want to build a culture where people want to come to work, where they want to get stuff done, where they want to bet on the company, you want people that you want to be around, and you want people that other people want to be around. Don't underestimate the likability factor. Number 9, remember, wealth is a byproduct of longevity. Very few people get rich or build wealth overnight. Most successful people earn their wealth over a lifetime of hard work. Consistency and effort is what really builds wealth. I'm gonna give you an example for me. I didn't start Thinkorswim until I was in my 40s. Didn't start Tasty until I was in my 50s. And Lost Dog, not until I'm in my mid-60s. So I'm not sure why everybody needs to rush this and think at 22 or 25 or 27, if you haven't made it to a certain level by 30 years old, you've failed or you've done something wrong, or I don't buy that at all. There's a lot of gratification, and there's something that's very special when you get into your late 20s, late 30s, even your late 40s, and you build something. Quick little story, my grandmother, she got her PhD when I think she was like 67 or 68. Number 10, differentiate yourself. Find your strongest industry differentiation discussion and stay in that lane. Showing a subtle strength is a power move. Every firm is looking for a unique hiring story. Tell your story in a way that can be repeated and told by others or told to others by a third party. You're basically training the counterparty to promote you because they believe you could be a difference maker. Think about that. By differentiating yourself, you're getting others to help you sell yourself. People love to discover smart, interesting people. This is an important point because I can tell you that there's nothing more fun as somebody that runs a company or that's hired a lot of people to turn to a partner or to an executive team and say, you can't believe who we just hired. Not because they know who the person is, but because of the skill set that person has. There's nothing that feels better by saying, hey, you know what? I just think I found somebody really special. It's like a talent scout in Hollywood, or it's like a baseball scout or a sports scout. Just found somebody that nobody else found. You want to tell everybody. So one of the things you want to do is you want to differentiate yourself to the point where somebody else tells your story, because anybody else that tells your story is going to do a better job of selling everybody else around than you could ever do. I've given you 10 points that I think can really help you to sell yourself and to further your career. If I had to pick 3 that I think are just, things that you just really have to focus on, I would say your ability to articulate your story, your ability to differentiate yourself. And then lastly, I'm going to say prioritize your network. Really build up your network. It's so important to longevity and to opportunity. I hope you enjoyed these 10 points. I would love to get some feedback from you, and I answer all the feedback myself. And if you think I missed a worthwhile point, please comment below.